everybody, Jim here. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good because it's a day off from work. I've got a nice cup of coffee with me, and I've got some pickups here. Today, I thought we could take a look specifically at some PS1 and PS2 games I've picked up recently. Some really good stuff in here, some kind of uncommon stuff as well, and some of this stuff I'm going to be hanging on to, some of it I'm going to package up and mail off pretty soon. But again, the joys of being able to play test everything that comes through my doors is excellent. So we're going to get started with some PS1 titles right off the top. This first game, very interesting title indeed. This is Puli Rula. And Puli Rula is a beat 'em up. Although very strange for a beat 'em up, I will say. It's definitely no Final Fight or Streets of Rage. I believe this was originally developed by Taito, but I guess, is it Xing or Crossing Entertainment? They did this Arcade Gears series where they put out they got the rights to a bunch of arcade games that I guess they thought were of particular interest, and then they published them on the PlayStation. And this one, how to even describe Puli Rula? I mean, like I said, a beat 'em up, but very strange for a beat 'em up. So a lot of enemies will kind of go down with like one hit, and then they'll turn into a little animal, and then you collect the animal for points, and then you carry on. You fight weird monster bosses. Your super attacks will typically call in an assistant character to help you out. There's some really, really weird backgrounds. This is like one of those games where when you think of like weirdo stuff in like Japan exclusive games, and you think about games like Cho Aniki and some, just things like that, this kind of fits into that sort of collective of games that's like, wow, that's weird. That's very Japanese, I guess you could say. So it is fun, but again, it's not, don't expect like Turtles in Time or something. I would say as a beat 'em up, it's a fairly mediocre beat 'em up. But just as an experience playing a weird little game, it's pretty cool. The visuals, as odd as they can be, I like the visuals in this game. I like the character designs and the enemies and the bosses and things like that. I like the soundtrack. I like all of those things. It's just, again, as a beat 'em up, it's not going to blow you away. The real purpose of picking up Puli Rula is just to bask in the oddness of it. It's an easy game. It's a short game. Like, I think I finished it in like 30 minutes. And it's kind of expensive. It's like an $80 game. So it's really up to you. This is a game for collectors, I think, because it's not a great beat 'em up, but it is fun enough, and it's weird, and it's a little collector's item. It's an odd Japanese arcade beat 'em up game that was plucked out of obscurity by this company and published on the PlayStation for whatever reason, and now it's something that we can all enjoy, I guess. So Puli Rula. Again, weird game, fun, short, easy, $80. Up to you whether or not you want to play that, or if you want to spend $80 to play it. Next up, another beat 'em up. Actually, I believe one of the launch titles for the PlayStation in Japan. This is Nekketsu Oyako, aka Hot Blooded Family. This, unlike Puli Rula, this is a really good beat 'em up. It's a fairly fast-paced. You have a few different characters to choose from. Lots of enemies on the screen. Lots of like weapons to pick up. You got super moves and special moves and all that good stuff. Each character definitely feels unique from the others. Still some strangeness here. You still do get swallowed by a whale, and there is a stage inside the belly of a whale, and you fight octopus with boxing gloves on, so that's a little bit out there, a little bit weird and wild stuff. But overall, this is a very fun beat 'em up. You can play co-op, obviously. This was developed by Technosoft. Technosoft mostly did like shoot 'em ups, things like that, but they branched out. They did beat 'em ups and pinball and things. So, you know, really great game, fun gameplay, really fun co-op. It's also available on the Sega Saturn. Graphics are nice, soundtrack is really good. So really can't go wrong with this game. It is a bit of an expensive game though. The PlayStation version is somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 typically, which is quite a lot for a beat 'em up that has something like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 stages or something. Again, a game you can probably beat in like half hour to 45 minutes. But it is a collector's item. It is pretty cool. Neketsu Oyako, good beat 'em up. Always happy to have that. Next up, not like a Japan exclusive game by any means, but Rockman 5 for the PlayStation. This is part of the Rockman Complete Works series, so all of the 8-bit Rockman games were re-released individually on the PlayStation, and then I think later they were, you know, released as a bundle as like, you know, probably like the Mega Man Collection, something like that. So this is great. It has 2 different versions of the soundtrack for Rockman 5, which I think is a good soundtrack. Rockman 5 is, I think I've said this before, it's actually my favorite of the 8-bit Rockman games. Most people argue over which is better, 2 or 3. I mean, they're all great, obviously, but I tend to go back to 5 the most. Just something about this one really does it for me. So you get the original 8-bit soundtrack. You also get an arranged soundtrack if you want that, and that's really cool in like a Navi mode where the game will give you hints and things like that. And there's, I think, like cool additional like artwork and other little bonus things you can unlock in here. And it also has some Pocket Station stuff you can play with, which is pretty cool, which I actually haven't gotten a chance to do yet. But yeah, not much else to say. Rockman 5 Complete Works for the PlayStation. This is awesome. All of the Complete Works, they're really cool because you get like cool new cover arts, and then you get your favorite 8-bit Rockman games, but on your PlayStation. So what's wrong with that? Fighting game, good stuff. Who the hell developed this? This is Technos. Technos Japan did this one, of course. Double Dragon for the PlayStation. Double Dragon, wasn't this also released? Was it released on the Saturn? I don't know if it was. Definitely was released on, I believe, the Neo Geo CD, though, and other Neo Geo consoles. A Double Dragon game, but it's a one-on-one fighter, and it's a good one. It's a well-made one-on-one fighter. There's some tie-in to the Double Dragon movie, so I think there's like little clips from the movie in certain stages or something like that, or like cinematics or something. I don't know. But the tie-in to the movie is very, very loose. Basically, you just get a bunch of Double Dragon characters like Billy and Jimmy Lee and a Bobo and some other characters and some original characters, and that's it. There's your game, and it's a fighting game. It's pretty good. Graphics are pretty nice. Soundtrack is good. Billy and Jimmy Lee can both sort of like, they can like transform into, you know, they get their like blue or red martial arts outfit, and the music changes and everything. There's not a whole lot to say about this game, just that it's, I don't know, it's something that I enjoy. It's not like this amazing game by any means. I wouldn't play this over like Street Fighter Alpha 3 or, you know, King of Fighters 98 or something, but still pretty damn good. And I think like about a $40 game, maybe 40 to 50 usually, which is not cheap, but for something like this, if you're a fighting game fan, if you like Double Dragon, you like Technos Japan in particular, which I really do, this is something worth picking up. It's not as exclusively expensive as like maybe the Neo Geo version. So Double Dragon, PlayStation, pretty cool. Much better than the movie anyway. Next up, Shoot 'em Up. Another Shoot 'em Up here. Great game and a great series. This is Ryden DX by Seibu Kaihatsu. Not a whole lot to say about this game. If you've played Ryden, the first, I don't know, handful of Ryden games, you know what this is. You've got your ship, and you can pick up, I believe you can pick up, what is it, the red one for your Vulcan shot, the blue power-up for your laser shot, and then I think in here you get the purple. You can get the purple, and that's like a weird, twisty, bendy, homing laser shot. I like the Ryden games. I think I've played almost all of them. Ryden DX is, I don't know, like, when I got the Ryden Fighters, I guess collection you could call it, for the Xbox 360. Those immediately became my favorite Ryden games. I think, what was it? I think Ryden Fighters 2 Jet, or something like that. Whichever one it was, it immediately became my favorite. But still, I like going back. I like playing other Ryden games, like on the Mega Drive, for example. Ryden Trad is really good. Various Ryden games that I think were re-released for, like the PS2. Ryden 5 for the Switch is one that I really enjoyed recently. Basically anything that says Ryden, I'm going to want to play it. So Ryden DX for the PlayStation, pretty damn good. Seibu Kahatsu, can't go wrong. And again, another game that's like a $50 game, thereabouts. So if you're a shooter fan, something to consider if you're collecting for PlayStation. Next up, I mean, a shooter that almost, I don't even really need to say anything about, Gradius 5 for the PS2, as we move into PS2 games now. Gradius 5, God, what can I say about this game? I'm a huge Gradius fan. Historically, Gradius 3 is my favorite, just because that was the first one I played on the SNES, and even though that game is like just played with slowdown, I don't particularly care. Like, I still love that game. So yeah, just historically, maybe for nostalgia purposes, Gradius 3 is my favorite Gradius game, but Gradius 5, holy hell, what a damn good game. Basically, take classic Gradius and just, I mean, you can just design stages around it. I mean, that's really what it is. Most Gradius games, like, there's not a world of difference between them. Same basic gameplay, but just the stage designs, the boss battles, the changes to graphics, the always stellar soundtracks. You can't go wrong. So on the PS2, there's Gradius 3 and 4 is sold as like a single collection, but then Gradius 5 here is a standalone title, and it's just great. Really nice visuals, fantastic soundtrack, lots of power-ups, amazing gameplay. I don't know what else I can say about this. This is good stuff by Konami, and this is not a terribly expensive game. Maybe like a $30 game, thereabouts. So if you're a Gradius fan and you're collecting PS2 games, Gradius 5, definitely worth picking up. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this again. Yeah, Gradius, you know, what can you say? You cannot go wrong with Gradius. Something I hadn't even thought about picking up until I saw it on a shelf, and then I was like, okay, I definitely want to at least play this. Ys 1 and 2 for the PS2. That's right, Ys Books 1 and 2, which probably best known for their PC Engine version, which I think was, like Alpha System developed it, but it's a port of a Falcom game. That's probably the best known version of Ys Books 1 and 2. And then I knew there were some Ys games on the PS2, and then I'm just, perusing the shelf, and I find for like $15 Ys 1 and 2 on the PS2, and I thought that's kind of intriguing. I wonder what's different about it. Obviously, the graphics are going to be pretty much totally different, 3D graphics. It's PS2. You got to show off the 3D, even though it's not impressive looking at all. It's not an impressive looking game. Although there are some very cool anime cutscenes, really beautiful stuff. But basically, exact same gameplay. You just run around, bump into monsters, and kill them. Collect money, collect experience, go find treasure, kill bosses, all that good stuff. And then still, it's just a retelling of the story of Ys 1 and 2. Only on the, wow, super souped up PS2 graphics. Oh my god. But fun game. I think, published by Digicube. Whoever the hell that is. But developed by Falcom. So that's good news. But it's still fun. Ys in general. Fun games. Characters, love the characters. Story is pretty cool. It's nothing too over your head. Just some fun action RPG and really great soundtrack, as per usual. Ys games always have really nice music, but I just thought that was kind of cool. That I hadn't realized that Ys 1 and 2 got re-released for the PS2, and now, come to find out, I think Ys 3 and even maybe like Ys 4 and 5, there's definitely a version of Ys 5 on the PS2, so now I want to play all the PS2 Ys games, and Ys 6 as well. But yeah, Ys 1 and 2, PS2, who knew? And cheap, affordable. if you're going to collect import PS2 games, this might be something to look into. All those East games that apparently got released on there. Next up, this, not a Japan exclusive game, a game I love nonetheless, and a very affordable game. I picked this up for like $5. Really great deal. Odin Sphere. Yes, Odin Sphere. Classic if you haven't already played it. It's an Atlas game. Was this developed by Vanillaware, or is this before there was a Vanillaware? I don't really know. I don't really care. Really fun, side-scrolling, I guess action RPG, if you will. But just beautiful. What the hell was it? Dragon's Crown came after this, right? So a similar visual style to Dragon's Crown, but just like beautiful graphics. Also Princess Crown, now that I think about it. So I guess you could think Princess Crown, Odin Sphere, Dragon's Crown, kind of put those all in kind of like a little series together. So if you like any of that stuff, you're gonna like this. Run around, kill monsters, beautiful hand-drawn look to the game, just amazing visuals, cool, like really cool character designs, nice soundtrack, just a really fun, enjoyable little like action RPG title, developed by Atlas. So you cannot go wrong with that. So this is one, again, you can pick it up. I think maybe the North American version is like a more expensive, like less common, but the Japanese version is literally like $5. I picked this up for 600 yen, which is maybe a little over $5 right now. So that's well worth the money. So Odin Sphere, PS2, amazing game. Next up, this is a game that is a Japan exclusive, and it's an oddball. I like it though. This is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. And this is a Capcom developed game that I remember was initially planned for a North American release, at least. I remember reading about that in, I think, PSM. And they were showing this game off because it was utilizing, at the time, something that was becoming really popular, cel-shaded graphics, to make it look as close to like an anime as possible, being based off of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga. And this one is, I don't know which story arc it is, but it's like, if it's it's definitely not number 1 or number 2. Maybe it's like number 4 or 5. I have no idea. I don't really follow the JoJo manga, but this is the one set in Italy where you're playing as Giorno Giovanni. I think it's Giorno Giovanni, right? JoJo. And it's sort of a beat 'em up, I guess, but you can't really call it a beat 'em up because usually you're not fighting a whole bunch of, like, when I think of beat 'em up, I think like a belt scroll, like you're beating up a bunch of bad guys. But here, typically, you're fighting one-on-one battles, and you have your the stands, and they're all like different and weird. So depending on what character you're fighting, gameplay mechanics might change entirely. Your controls might be reversed, or you never know where an enemy's coming from. Like, really weird stuff happens in this. Go figure. It's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so weird stuff happens. So this is a game where the gameplay is kind of particularly difficult to describe because it changes a lot, and it's not strictly a beat 'em up, but it's not a beat 'em up, but it's not a fighting game. So kind of hard to explain. All I can say is it's pretty fun. It's really cool. If you like JoJo, you like the style and aesthetics and everything, you're going to like this because the graphics are really great, soundtrack is cool, gameplay is pretty cool. But just in general, I kind of like it just because I don't know much about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like I said, I haven't really followed the manga or anything, but anytime like I've played a game with that title attached to it, I've enjoyed them. So yeah, Golden Wind, pretty cool game. And this is another one that like you can pick it up for like $10. Like, it's really inexpensive. So if you want to collect some import PS2 games, this might be somewhere to start. Exclusive game developed by Capcom. Weird, but pretty damn cool. So yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind for the PS2. Good stuff. And final pickup for the video, something for the Rockman or Mega Man fans out there. Rockman Power Battle Fighters. And what this is it is Rockman the Power Battle and Rockman the Power Fighters together, which those were some arcade games, which are kind of like fighting games. Basically, you either play as Rockman, or you can play as Blues, and then later you can play as Bass, and I think one other character as well. but you choose your character, and then you choose a string of enemies, and then you just go through them like one at a time. And there's like boss battles and things like that. So it's kind of like they took the premise of Rockman and made it like a little one-on-one fighter almost. It's not exactly like a fighter. You still, playing like, Rockman. But more arcadey. We'll put it that way. So you go through, you beat up all the robot masters, you blow them up, you collect points and things like that, and then you make some selections going through the arcade mode, and that kind of depends on like what power-up you'll get or things like that. And of course, when you defeat enemies, you get new powers that you can use on the next enemy. So, all good. These games were released, again, as part of that, I believe, the Mega Man collection. I think it was just the original Mega Man Anniversary collection. You could play both of these games. So that was how I initially played them, and then come to find out the two of them are just bundled together on a PS2 disc, and for all to enjoy. So for a Mega Man fan, this is a pretty damn cool game. Not super expensive, probably like a $30, $35 game. This is another one that if you are collecting PS2, import PS2 games, this is one you might want to look out for, because it is it's not prohibitively expensive yet, and it's really fun, especially if you are a fan of Rockman, which I definitely am. So yeah, Rockman, Power Battle Fighters, PS2. Really good stuff. Excuse me, I need some coffee time. I get so parched, I just need my coffee. Anyway, some PS1, PS2 pickups, some cool stuff, some Japan exclusive stuff, some inexpensive stuff. A little something for everyone, depending on like your collecting habits. Feel free in the comments, let me know. Have you played any of these games? What do you think about them? And if you're collecting PS1 or PS2, especially imports, let me know what you're getting into. What are you playing? I'd like to know, because I send out a lot of games, but I'm also still playing a lot of games and still collecting games. So if there's something that maybe I haven't tried yet that you think I'd be into, feel free to let me know. Anyway, that's it for today. I've rambled on quite long enough. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take care. Goodbye.